think about the big build?
I think it's really interesting, and I think we could do a good job of getting some money.
I can't wait to see people raising money and collecting money so that it happens. It's going to be fantastic.
I hope the project's going to be really successful because I can't wait to have more space and better facilities that the pupils at Epinay deserve.
The big build. And remember, we had an assembly a long time ago as well, where some of you said what kind of things you would like to see in our school.
I'm Hilary Harrison, Head Teacher at Epinay Business and Enterprise School in Jarrow, South Tyneside.
Hello, I'm Diane Mountain, Business Development Manager at Epinay School.
Today we had a special assembly for pupils, parents, local community. And the reason we had this assembly was because we've held one before with our business colleagues and the community. And we decided earlier on this year, I think in this academic year, wasn't it? Yeah, that we were one of the schools that didn't get a new building within the BSF new build. And we have had an outstanding Ofsted and just recently had another outstanding Ofsted. So we decided that we weren't going to sit back, but we actually knew that money was difficult to get. So we're actually going to have our own campaign and actually see what we needed as a school and ways that we might raise the funding.
My name's Lisa. I'm Lewis's mum. He's 11 and he started Epinay in September. He came from a mainstream school, and bringing him to Epinay is the best decision I've ever made. I wish I'd have done it a long time ago.
Well, I'm Kerry, and my son's James. He's been here a couple of years. It's certainly the school that, that made it possible. Even just little things like the different teaching methods. So they look at each child individually. That's what's made a difference to James's education.
They're there for them, they support them, they know what support they need, and they're there to help them straight away. And I can't fault this school.
I'm Scott Wright and I'm 15 years old. I do catering. I've got the best staff and qualify, like Mr. Beck and Mr. Scott. They do everything for us and they help us get my level 1. And I could get a job out of this thanks for the best qualified.
Well, these children have got moderate learning difficulties. It's nothing to be ashamed of. If you need to back your child, you back your child 100%. Yes. And it's the best decision I've ever made because I know my son's going to come out of this school with qualifications where if he had went to a mainstream school, he might not have.
Well, ideally we'd want to build a new school, but what we did was decided that Diane puts in a lot of bids as well to charities, and one of the things they're always after is plans and costings. So we got an architect firm in who we know done a lot of work with schools before, and we asked them to look at the school and what was possibly the best and the cheapest initially that we could do, and they've come up with some designs. So 1.6 million was the amount of money that would need. So it would be extending the school building, refurbishing it, redesigning it, so space is used to its best premium really, because at the moment the school is quite tight for space, and we have recently had some ICT changes and some funding. So we've actually really looked at changing some of the classrooms, but we're wanting to really extend it and expand it to make it a sensible use of space, I suppose is the best way to put it.
The school is good, but it's a bit crowded. I like the cafe and that, and it's a bit crowded. We need definitely a bigger cafe and the bigger classrooms.
Just like everybody to get behind the big build project at Epinay School as it provides a better range of services to pupils who are 4 to 16 years old.
I think a sports facility would be absolutely fantastic for them. Really do, because they do a lot. When they've got the big trampoline up, it takes up nearly half the hall. Yeah. So if they had a bigger hall,
just made out specifically for sports and things like that,
Bigger classes, we need a science lab, we need a sports hall, we need another hall as well, and we need people to calm down.
Yeah, calming down.
Really realistically, we initially talked about 5 years, but I think we'd like to try and get it done in 2,
Yeah.
if possible.
The fundraising targets are set, so we've got phase 1, 2, 3 and 4. So once we raise enough money to complete phase 1, we'll start on that work. So it's really, once we hit and achieve a target, we can start work straight away.
If everyone chips in and helps, I think it'll make a better future for the school.
My husband done the Great North Run last year and raised £600 for the school. I'm doing it this year. So I hope to try and raise the same amount, if not more, and I would love to raise a lot of money for the school because I definitely need it.
We've got a My Donate button on our website, which is www.epinay.org. They could contact Diane.
They can come and visit the school if they just want to. If they're passing by, they can call in. There's always somebody here to say hello, offer them a cup of coffee, and talk about our campaign. They can access us through the local press. We're going to cover a lot of our stories and our fundraising targets. We're going to be covering with the local press, so hopefully they'll get to know a bit more about us, and we'll put our details in there as well.
Just excuse you for a minute. What do you think about the big build?
I think it's a very, very exciting new project.
I think it's going to be fabulous.
It's a really good idea.
I think it's excellent. Best thing that's happened to this school.
It's a really good idea because they need more skating.
But with teachers like this, there's one thing to handle with devotion.